right, I think we're live and ready to begin. Hi guys. As always, let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me well, and we will begin in just a couple of moments. All right. I will just wait a couple of moments for everyone to join. And yeah, in the meantime, feel free to network in the chat. Feel free to let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And we will start with today's workshop. I'll be checking the chat and see if everything is running smoothly. Hello. Just a couple of more moments until everyone is here, so you won't miss the beginning. All right. Hi guys, hi. Let me check the chat again and see if everything is all right. Okay, feel free to leave an emoji and just let me know that you have tuned in as well. All right. Hello. Hello, hello, and we will just wait for a couple of more moments and then we will start. Okay. Hello. And let me check the chat again and we will begin. Okay, hi, I can see the first reaction. Hi, welcome to today's stream. Feel free to share where you tune in from and if the sound and image is all right, and we will start just in a couple of moments. Okay, I think the sound and the image is all right, so we are ready to start. And this workshop will be available in the recording, so if you have missed the introductory part, you can always go and rewatch it in your own time. And okay, so allow me to introduce myself. I'm Nastya, and I'm a content manager at Tilda. And today I'm excited to host a workshop on how to add interactive 3D to your website. So interactive 3D has been a huge topic in web design, and we have covered it extensively in our videos, but we never really did a full-on workshop or full-on tutorial on how to actually integrate it within Tilda and how to launch a 3D website on Tilda. So we are fixing that today, and I'm excited to go through the key steps on how to add and how to build your own custom 3D to make your website more immersive. Right, so before we begin, just a quick overview of today's workshop and what we're going to learn today. So we will start with just discussing how to build custom layouts on Tilda with the Zero Block Editor. So this is a very robust tool that allows you to create flexible layouts. And really have full control and all the freedom to build your own layout and customize it to fit your needs. So you don't have to, you don't have to confine yourself in the pre-designed blocks, which are great if you want to build a website fast. But if you want to go a step further and actually launch something more creative, add custom animation effects, add 3D, and so on, you would probably need to get acquainted with ZeroBlock. And it's quite, it requires a bit of a learning curve, but trust me, it's super intuitive, and it's just 1 hour of working on ZeroBlock will help you to get started. And this is what we're going to do today. So next, we're going to go to Spline, and let me know in the chat if you know what Spline is, if you have already worked with Spline. And basically, this is a tool to create 3D scenes, 3D elements, and then import them to the web. And so you can add them, you can embed them on the website, you can create a web app, gamify your website, make it more immersive, interactive, and stuff like that. So we're going to go to the Spline platform and just walk through some basic tools to get started. Nothing too complicated. I know 3D may sound complex, but trust me, there will be almost no coding today. We still would need to copy and paste the embeds, but it's going to be a very user-friendly and beginner-friendly process. Next, we're going to just go over some steps on how to import your 3D into Tilda, how to integrate them into your layout, and finally, we will learn how to create your own 3D elements, right? So this is our agenda for today. And let me check the chat to see if everything is running smoothly. Okay, so hi there, super excited to have you today. And again, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat and I will answer them during today's workshop. Okay, so right. So if you're not familiar with Tilda yet, Tilda is a no-code website builder that allows you to create websites super quickly and intuitively. So you don't have to be a professional web designer or a developer to get started. So Tilda is mostly about pre-designed templates, pre-designed blocks that you can arrange to fit your needs, to fit your business goals, to launch a portfolio, to create more creative projects. But actually, to get started with Tilda, you don't really need to be a professional, because most of the times everything has already been designed for you, adapted for all the screen resolutions, and all you need to do is to fill your website, your future website, with your content, right? So, and in order, if you're just starting out, if this is your first time on today's stream, we have a special promo code for you that you can see right now on the screen. This is 3D Tilda, and it will give you, if you go and register on Tilda right now and activate it today, you will get 3 months of the Tilda personal plan. So this will give you 3 whole months to play around, to test and try out all of the different features on Tilda. And also you will be able to recreate today's workshop with this promo code. So again, this is a neat bonus for all the newcomers, all the newbies. And again, we have a lot of content, a lot of different content on our channel, so you can go and explore what else you can build with Tilda. Yeah, and feel free to grab this promo code right now on the screen, and I will also go and repeat it a bit later. Okay, so let's jump right into Tilda here, and let's check out how to get started, right? So here I have created a new website, and in order to add a new page, you need to click create new page here at the top. And this is what we're going to do to build our first layout. Okay, so when creating a new page, you have different options of how you can go about this, right? So here you have a blank page, so you can start from scratch and then customize everything from the ground up. So you can use pre-designed blocks to build a website that will be fully custom to you. Next, you can go and generate a page with AI, and here you will need to fill out a couple of prompts, and then the AI website builder will assist you with building a website. So again, a feature that might speed up your process a lot, so definitely check it out. And here you have different options of all kinds of templates that you can go and explore for an online store, link in bio, quiz form, event, for a blog if you're planning to launch a blog, for inner company pages. And also we have a pro category templates that are completely free, but they are more advanced. So if you want to have a more advanced design, and again, you can go and check them out as well. But today we're going to start with just a blank page here. So let me click, and here you can see, so once you click start a blank page, you can see the page editor. So this is where all the website building happens. And so here when you click the more blocks button, you can access a block library with different categories that allow you to add all kinds of blocks and build your website brick by brick, basically. So let's go and check out some of the new ones that we just added. So for example, you can add this one. Okay, so let me go and again add one here. So for example, you can add this cover block, then you can go and add a title. So for example, if you want to have a text on your website, a text block on your website, and then you can go and explore different categories. So an image, form. So for example, if you want to collect leads on your website, you can go and insert a form. And also it's all of the pre-designed blocks are easily customizable, so you can always go and customize them to fit your needs. And when you add or remove content, all of the blocks will adapt automatically, right? So there is that. So, but today we're going to work with a more custom option, right? So let me delete all of the blocks that I've just added and add a zero block. So a zero block is a block that allows you to create your own custom blocks. So here we have this canvas, the artboard, and this is where you can add all kinds of elements, right? So you can delete all the default elements that we had here. And so now all you can do is you can add, you can click the plus icon at the top or access this toolbar at the bottom. And so here you can add text. So for example, you want to have a heading, a description, so like so. Then you want to add an image. So for example, you're creating your own hero section and you want, you don't want it to be, say you didn't find the option from the pre-designed collection, so, and you want to create your own here. Again, so what else you can add? You can add a button and leave it here. So again, and one thing to keep in mind when working in zero block, so all the pre-designed blocks that we have discussed today previously, they are already adapt it to different screen resolutions. Whereas zero block, here you need to do it manually, right? So every time you create a layout, you then need to go and adapt your layout to different screen resolutions. So always keep in mind that sometimes you need to decrease the size of your text, adapt animation if you have it. And again, there is a bunch of tutorials on our channel. Feel free to subscribe if you want to, get more advanced in zero block. But today we will also try to cover pretty much all of the tools inside it, right? So let's go and work with the desktop version, because this stream is on desktop. So today we'll work only with this resolution, but also you can always go and, take an extra step and adapt your layout. Okay, so let me check the chat, see if you have any comments so far. Okay, so no comments, no questions. Okay, great. So I will continue with the Spline tools, right? So, and we will work on adding 3D scenes here. So say you have this hero section. So let me go and create a heading like so. And adjust the description. So just a regular, just a regular hero section layout. So we have a description, heading, and a button. So we'll change the button color here. So all of the editing happens on this right-hand panel. So if you want to change the color of the text or the color of the button itself, it all happens here. Okay, so, and also say I want to have a dark theme, so I will go and change the background color like so, and then I will invert the text, so it will be white. Okay, so great. So here we have our first custom layout that we have created from scratch. Now, how do we add 3D scenes here? So this is where we'll go to Spline. And here, all you need to do is to log in and access the dashboard, the user dashboard that we have here. I have a free version, so it's not a paid plan. And today I will show you everything that you can create within the free plan on Spline. So, and just a couple of words about the whole setup and what you can access where. So here, this is a homepage, and here you can go and start building your 2D scenes or 3D scenes, or import your own models. So say you are a 3D artist and you want to incorporate your own 3D model on your website, you can also do that. But today we will mainly work with this 3D design option. So next, you can go to Discover, and here you can see all of the user-generated content and see what other creators are building with Spline. So you can go and explore, some specs and details, and again, it will be useful as well. So in your files, you will have the storage of all of the projects that you have created in the templates category. And this is a great option if you're just starting out, is that you can go and you can preview each scene and how it's built, and then like here. So you go and you can preview how everything was created. You can see the elements panel here. You can move things around. You can remix and add this to your website. So this is a really good start if you haven't built anything yet and you're afraid of the blank canvas. So you can always go and start with some pre-designed assets here. Okay, so let's go back and see what else is here. So you can again generate 3D scenes with AI, and what is an amazing tab here is community. And community is also all about user-generated content. And yeah, so here you can go and follow the most active Spline creators. And also what's great about it is that you can go and click on the scene that you like, and then you can go and remix it. So for example, you want to add this orb on your website, you like the effect and you want to remix it. So let's go and play around with it like this. Okay, say you want to remix this one, and allow just a couple of moments to load. And this is your scene that was already created by someone else that you can grab and then go and customize it, change something, see how it was done, and look at the settings and get inspired. But also, again, you can go and see how it would look like on your website as well. So let me delete all the UI elements that we don't need. And so if you click play here, you can play around with this orb, with these rounded shapes, and see how the interaction works, right? So how do we export it? How do we import this scene into Tilda? Quite easily. Actually, so you go here and access this export button at the top, and you can go and copy this public URL that was created and click this copy embed link, right? Okay, so we copied that. Now we need to go to our layout that we just created in ZeroBlock, and what we need to do is we need to add an HTML element. So we need to add an element that allows us to paste custom code to our website, right? So right now it's set to just this default hello world code. So I will just delete it, and I will just insert the code that I just copied. So this is a code that allows you to showcase this Spline viewer. So let us close and update it. And so here you have this container with a custom code, right? And so how it works is basically all you need to do now to paste the viewer, the Spline viewer, and paste the 3D object is you need to go and stretch it so it covers the whole screen, because we need to set this 3D element as a background, right? So now we need to go and right click and then click to send to back. So what this will do is, and you can access the layer panel here on the left. So this will move this HTML container to the very bottom here. So it will serve as a background like this. And also I will just make it bigger like so, and then save and close. Okay, and now we can publish it and see how it works. Okay, so, and this is our website with the 3D added. It's quite easy, so all you need to do is to create your layout in ZeroBlock and then paste the embedded code via HTML element. So now we need to, right now it's kind of, the text is overlapping our element, so we need to work we need to adjust and move our element slightly to the side. So this is what I will do, is I will just stretch this container a bit and I will move it here like this. And then again, save, close, and publish. Okay, and let's check it out. Let's see how it works. Okay, I have a new comment. Hi, any chance we'll see some integrations of Cloud Code and Gemini Pro models to Tilda in the near future? Oh, stay tuned. Yeah, I'm not promising anything, but we definitely, yeah, we will think of that, of adding something like that to Tilda soon. Okay, so, and this is what the result looks like. Okay, so it's super easy to add a model if you have already created it within Spline. So let's go back and I will add some more blocks, some more elements, so we have a more, a more lively, a more dynamic website. So let's go and add probably something from the cover category. So something like this. Okay, and then what I also want to do is I want to make my hero section slightly bigger. So I will just increase the size by dragging this this edge of the artboard. Okay, so, and there is that. So let me see if you have any questions yet. So really cool and easy to implement. I'm really excited to try out. Yeah, feel free to try it out. Again, it's super easy and you can use a lot of assets from the Spline community and you can mix and match them into your own layouts. And sometimes you don't really need to build elaborate models to, to make your website look more dynamic and fun to use. Okay, so let's go and see, just play around once again. So this is our hero section. Again, super cool, and it instantly grabs users' attention like nothing else. So I think that interactive 3D, and for how easy it is to create with Spline, it's like a cheat code for reducing your bounce rates, right? So it really turns just browsing into interacting on your website. All right, but what do we do if we want to create our own interaction, so our own custom interaction? Let's try that. So let's go to my files, or you can access it through homepage. So I want to create a 3D scene, so this is what I will start with now. And I will probably need to remove the duplicates that were created. Just a second. Okay. Let me go. And so every time you're working with the pre-version, you need to make sure you clean up your project, right? So let's go and create a new scene. And here we will go and, spend some more time on exploring Spline and what you can do with it, right? So let's delete this default element that we don't need right now. And I will just show you around. And actually, when you look at this layout, it reminds us a bit of Figma. So here on the right, you have the editing panel, and on the left, you have elements panel that basically shows all the elements, all the layers of your scene, right? So by clicking this plus icon here in this toolbar, you can see what you can add to your scene, right? So here you can add flat elements like rectangle, eclipse. So it's going to be, again, it's going to look like this. So it's going to be completely flat. So we are not going to use that. You can go insert pentagon, star. You can insert UI elements, text, path, shape blend. You can, again, insert particle emitters. So if you want to create different particle effects, you can do that, but it's slightly more advanced. So, and here you can create planes and, you know, all kinds of 3D objects. So cube, sphere, cylinder, torus, etc., etc. So you can also add some more fun models. But today we are going to work with something called shape blend. So I will add that and I will show you how it works. So we have added our element that we are going to work with. And so again, here is the viewport. So the viewport is basically your scene, and it shows the angle at which you're previewing your future designs. And you can have this orthographic view, which is slightly more, it helps you control how the elements are placed in the scene, but it doesn't really give you an idea of the dimensions and, you know, the volume in your scene. So if you want to be precise, if you want to move your objects in a very precise way, orthographic view is great for that. So you can always go and preview how the orthographic view is displayed on different axes. So on the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and you can also go and see what your scene looks like in a perspective mode, in a perspective view. So, and suddenly you have an idea of what is placed where inside the scene, right? So what else you can do? You can change the background color. So for example, when you click somewhere in the scene, so not on the object, you can change the background color. So for example, you want to work in a slightly more lighter theme, you can do that. And so here we have added a shape blend. So a shape blend tool allows you to create blended shapes, right? So I will click Control C. So I will just copy and paste my sphere. And this is what the blend shapes tool does, is that it allows you to create these, you know, abstract shapes, blobs, and bubbles. So today we will try to work with something more abstract. So we are not going to model and create, you know, elaborate 3D scenes. So it's going to be beginner friendly. So again, we actually have two shape blends, so I will go and just duplicate it like that. And so here we have one shape here, and then all you need to do is just, you know, copy and paste it to, you know, to make it more organic, I would say. So today we're going to explore how to create, you know, interactive organic shapes so you can embed them on your website and, you know, create a more immersive experience. So again, you can press Option on Mac and just move around and see, you know, what your scene looks like at different angles. Okay, so let me again copy and paste that again. Okay, so, and when you click here at the top, so when you select the whole element of shape blend, you can also go to the settings and control the blending, the amount of blending in your scene, right? So it's going to look something like that. So now, what else do you need to do before, before you have a scene that you might import on your website, right? So what else you can add? You can go and explore the material settings. And so what it does is, first of all, you can simply go and change the color of your object, of your 3D element. You can change the lighting, but you can also go and add different textures. So you want to emulate water or glass or some organic matter. You can go and click this plus icon and select different options of how you can texture your 3D element here from the drop-down list, right? So I will go for madcap here. So again, you need to add a new material, and it's set to color by default. So you need to click and access this drop-down list, and then you need to go to madcap. And suddenly it has become more voluminous, more tactile. So say you want to change this texture to something else. So this is how you can, so you click here on this material icon, and then you can create a custom texture, but you can also go and access different assets from the Spline library. So, for example, you want to create something more glassy and, liquid like this. Again, you can go and preview different materials and play around with them. Okay, so something like that. I will go for this one, for this glossy look. And I want to make these blobs slightly more glassy and transparent, so they almost feel like water drops. So what we need to do is we need to go and add another material, and here I have added color, but I want to set it to glass. Okay, so right now you cannot see anything, and that's because the glass is typically transparent, and you need to move this layer so it is placed under the madcap layer. So again, you can play around with these material settings and customize them so the material of your object fits your goal, right? So, and what I want to do is I want to play with blending modes. So blending modes, if you're working with different graphic software, you probably are familiar with it, but the blending modes allow you to, again, emulate certain textures better. So for example, I have set this madcap to the screen blending mode, and suddenly you can see this glassy glassy look for our drops. Okay, and this is how you work with materials. This is how you work with texturing. So again, feel free to explore different texturing methods and stuff like that. Okay, so now we need to add some movement. We need to add some animation. How do we do that? So when you click on, let's go and access this sphere, this blob, this element. So what I need to do is I need to go and access it here, for example. Okay. So okay, let me refresh the page, and while I do that, I will also check out the comments, the comment section. Okay, so animation. What we need to do, for example, I will select this shape here, and say I want to add some more movement to our scene. And so what I will do is I will go to this States tab, this State Settings. And the state setting is basically allows you to move your object from one state to another, and then animate it, create a sequence, and then be able to play this on your website. So okay, so here is the base state. This is our default state, how we added the element to the scene. And then we need to go and pick the second state. So I will name it state 2. So, and what I need to do now is I need to move it somewhere else. So we will have the movement here. Okay, so this is our base state, and this is when the sphere moves up. So here are the two states that we have created, and in order to create a transition, we need to add an event. So here is the state settings, and here under events, you can go and add a transition event or a transition action under the start event. So here you can go and pick the base state as a starting point, and then you can go and add the second state, state 2, as an ending point. And so here you can insert how many seconds need to pass for this action to happen. So in 10 seconds, this object will go from the base state to the second state that we have created. And I also want to loop this movement, so it is going to be a continuous movement here. So I will go and set the loop to infinite, and then I will set the cycle to ping pong, like so. Okay, and as you can see, the sphere is now moving when we play the scene. Okay, so now we need to go and we need to create the same thing with different other elements. So we'll go and pick this bigger sphere, and I will create another state. So say I will move it here, and then I will create an event, set the event to start as default, and create a transition action. And here I will go from the base state to the state 2. And I will also set the timing, the time frame in which the object should move from one state to another to 10 seconds. So, and I will enable looping and set it to ping pong. Okay, so let's play this, and now you can see that the spheres start to move and start to morph together. Okay, so now let's go and let's create the same effect. The same effect for the rest of the elements. And for the effect to work, all you need to do is just, again, add a new state and move your sphere somewhere on the canvas, and then create an event, transition from base state to state 2 in 5 seconds. So I want this movement to be slightly faster. So we'll do that. And finally, I will work with this one. And I will move somewhere here. Okay, create an event, transition, and I will go from the base state to the state that we have created in 5 seconds. Okay, so loop infinite, cycle ping pong. Again, this is quite a repetitive process, so what you can do is you can also click on an object that you have already added, on an element that you have already added, copy and paste it, and then move it around like so. So this will also be animated here. Paste and move it like so. So let's preview our scene and let's see what it looks like now. So now we have this organic watery water drops moving here. So what I also want to do is I want to check that they're slightly more composed. So, and this is how you create some abstract movement. Now we need to add interaction, right? So how do we do that? Let's just copy and paste some of the drops that we did, some of the blobs here, and I will create this one here. So here we have different bubbles, different elements, and I want to add interaction to my scene. So what I need to do is I will create this element, a follow sphere, and I will explain why in a second. So you select this one, and actually I will remove the event. So we have created an animation. So from the base state to again to the second state. So I will delete it. I will move my sphere somewhere here. I will also delete the event, so we don't need it. We don't need these elements to interact in the same way as the rest. So, and I will go and add an event, but instead of start here, I will go and select follow. Okay, so, and what this will do is this will allow me to interact with these shapes with my cursor. So this sphere that I set to follow will work as, as this morphing tool for my users to play around with. Okay, so let's go back. I will prepare the scene for, again, for import, so we can add it to our website. So I want to check that they move in a more organic way, so it looks pleasing to the eye. Okay, let me see. Okay, so like this. Let me check the just the overall an overall animation. So I want to decrease this one like so. Right now I'm just preparing my scene to be more cohesive and ready for import. Okay, so what else we can do? So we can go and, so let us select this follow sphere that we have added. So the sphere that follows the cursor as we explore the scene on our website. And what I want to do is I want to tweak the follow settings a bit. So when you increase the damping, the motion will become smoother. So I will set it to 10, and I will also set the speed to around 2, 3, so it's not so fast. So it's more liquid, it's more organic, and it will actually be, rewarding for the user to play around with. So, and now, as you can see, the motion is not jittery. It's more, it's more organic, it's more smooth. And this is, how you achieve a more immersive and a more natural experience. So again, you can move around. You can move around the scene and interact with these abstract shapes. And now what we need to do is we need to go and we need to export the scene to our Tilda website. Okay, so let me go and just decrease this one a bit. So again, in order to export the scene, you need to click export at the top and wait for the public URL to be created. So what I want to do is I want to tweak the play settings a bit. So what I will do is I go to play settings, and here you have the option to make this scene animated on turntable. So I will enable that, and what this will do is this will allow me to, to create even more movement in my scene. So a speed set at 2 is quite fast, so the elements will just rotate at a certain speed. So I will set it to about like 0.2 seconds and update public URL. So every time you make an update to your scene, you need to update the link. So otherwise you will load the old scene to your website. Okay, so now we copy embed and we go. I actually created a separate page to paste this one. So let's go here. And so here I have added another block and say I want to replace this background to our 3D that we have just created. So what we need to do is we need to go and, so first of all, we need to delete the background image. I will do that. And now I will add my HTML element. So I will add that, and I will also replace this default code with the embedded link that I just got from Spline. Okay, let's zoom out a bit like this, and let's cover the entire scene. Let's send it to back so it's placed in the background so it doesn't interfere with the UI that we already have. And I will insert it somewhere like here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So far you cannot see anything because this is the code will be played on a published page, and we need to click save, wait a bit, and publish our layout. Okay. And here you can go and again play around with these blobs that we just created. Again, this is just one of the examples of how you can, make the browsing experience more dynamic. And again, you can, so your user will be able to move this scene around, play, and, just interact with even the element like a background. So again, it will definitely make your user experience more immersive and more fun. Okay, so there is it for today, and I will check the chat if we have some more questions. And it looks like we do not.